All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. And in today's a podcast, I'll be sharing with you why I love my child-free life. Yeah, child-free by choice. Yeah. So yeah, it goes. You can think of it as gloating over the fact that I love my lifestyle. Yeah. And I'm not encouraging this for everybody to follow. Yeah. This is just my lifestyle, and I'm just sharing why I love this life of mine. First up, why do I believe in being child free? So basically, yeah, it goes. I like being child free because it gives me that freedom, that independence to do what I like, where I like, and when I like, and that includes everything. Yeah. And secondly, it gives me the disposable income. Yeah, it frees up a lot of income that I can spend on myself or save up for a rainy day, and then even for my retirement and so on and so forth. Yeah, you need a nest egg, don't you? Yeah? And last but not the least, I'm able to save up my time, my effort, my energies, and basically all those kinds of intangible resources, yeah, that I could elsewhere spend it elsewhere, yeah, basically otherwise spend it elsewhere, because these time, effort, and energies, they mean money, don't they? Yeah? So ultimately it all boils down to cold hard cash. Yeah? Hardcore cash. So apart from these things, there's another reason I also feel stressed when I have to deal with, let's say, buying the groceries for my family, or when I have to, clean up or cook or learn to cook, or even, bring my toddlers to school and then teach them and then discipline them when they play, when they throw a temper tantrum. And the list is endless, yeah, guys, you know it. Yeah? Those of your parents out there, you know it really well. So I mean, it's just a choice, a conscious choice of mine to not want to go through all these life experiences. It's just my choice. And some of them judge me. Some people, they ask me, oh, when you look at people getting married and having children and starting a family, don't you want to be like them? I'm sure secretly deep inside your heart you want it. But I never truly, to be honest with you guys, I never truly desired for that kind of hectic, stressful life, because the way I see it is, yes, there are some happy moments in it, that you see your children do well, or smile, or tell you, mommy, daddy, I love you, and there's a happy family photograph. And yes, 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 I agree, there are happy moments in that. But there's a lot of ugly moments also. Yeah, it's a lot of give and take. Before you can take 10%, you have to give 90%, don't you? Yeah. And you also have to budget your money. Yeah, no matter how much you earn, is just not enough to sustain so many mouths to feed and so many expenses cropping up. And with the cost of living and all that, no matter how much you earn, it's just not enough, is it? And and you feel really stressed out. I don't want to get wrinkled so early, guys. Yeah. And fine lines and dark eye circles, just a lack of sleep and lack of quality time, me time, and just lack of quality time to spend with one's existing family members. I make that distinction: existing family members, not the family that you've created, but existing family members. And just having that lack of time for yourself, pampering yourself, going out, buying the things you want, learning a hobby or two. And you have to put these on hold before the kids are of a certain age. Don't tell me no. Yeah. So I find all this too much of a sacrifice to make. I love myself so much. I love myself maybe a bit too much to want to sacrifice or lay down my life like that, and to want to experience these really, uh, undesirable things. To me, they are undesirable. I'm okay with people finding them desirable, something to aim for, something to aspire for. I'm okay with that. But oftentimes people are not okay with me just being happy as a single and child-free single, for that matter. They just find it really they find a need to make comments. You see, they say, oh, you're selfish. Well, what's wrong with being selfish? Who told you that being selfless is the norm anyway? Have you ever questioned that norm? Yeah. What does it bring you? I mean, maybe it gives you a kick to be selfless, but to me, being selfish, as long as I don't hurt anybody, who am I hurting by being child free? Who am I hurting by being single? Nobody, right? So, I mean, as long as I do not harm anyone in the pursuit of my own happiness and stability and sanity, I don't see the need to justify or defend my lifestyle choice. You see, so basically, it all boils down to this. People ask me, "Oh, why are you in teaching if you don't like kids?" I tell them, you don't have to love kids in order to be in teaching. Yeah? Because I'm not a nanny, I'm not a babysitter. I've got the intellect to share, and that's basically what I'm doing as a tutor, aren't I? So, and besides, it's not. I never said I hate children. It's two dichotomies, two extremes to say that if you don't like children, if you don't love children, if you don't have one on your own, then you must be a kid-hating menace to the world. It's not like that. It's not two polar extremes or opposites. Well, I'm quite neutral about them until they test my patience. That is, of course, just joking. Well, I'm very patient. If you go to my website and see my testimonials that my students have given me, they claim to me I'm extremely a patient tutor and teacher. Yeah? So, I mean, those are not the things. Ultimately, I don't see the point of starting a family. I mean, what do I get? Is it, did God come down and say only parents and married people go to heaven and singles are going to hell? It was never like that, guys. It's just a social norm that for centuries on has been inculcated and imbibed in us, that this is the social norm for us to follow. And nobody any questions it anymore. Just go with the motions, go with the flow, and the rigors of life, and we end up doing it. And no matter how tough the going gets, you're never taught, you're never expected to question your choices. Your choice to get married, your choice to have children, these are expected of you by society. But let me ask you, are you truly happy most of the time? Are you stressed and frustrated? You got to ask yourself, if something doesn't make you happy, is it worth following? You get what I mean? At least for me, it is not. Yeah, so I'm bringing it back to me because the focus is on me. I'm not advocating that everybody, stop getting married, stop having children. Ultimately, this is a very unpopular. I kind of accept that. I admit that this is an unpopular lifestyle choice. So maybe it takes maybe hundreds of years from now on for people to view this as with an open mind, as a bit more societally acceptable. But all I can say is I'm really happy where I am. Why do you feel the need to, rub it in and say, oh, you're a single, oh, that's so sad? It's not sad. I chose it consciously. And you know what, to be honest, I have been married before, but I'm single again. And the reason why the marriage didn't work out was because he wanted a child, and I just kicked him to the curb because he wanted a child. And I never led him on, to be honest, right from the beginning. The first conversation, the first question. In fact, on my dating app, I had put it up there saying I wanted to be child-free for life. And he matched with me, and the first question I asked him, I remember very clearly, are you okay with us not having children in the future? Because I don't see myself aspiring for that. And he said, yes. And everything that from there was just an entire fake scam, or a sham, I would say. But anyway, I'm not here to vilify anybody. And to me, that was the main reason why, marriages, at least my marriage failed. Because I would rather be child-free again as a single than to compromise and give him a child, have a child just so that I can keep a man with me. If I myself alone would not do in that marriage, then maybe we are just not meant for each other. That's the way I see it, because I don't want to sacrifice becoming a mother. I don't want to become a mother. In fact, I always felt that, oh, when I get, let's say I'm introduced as a person's wife, as a person's mother, I just find it so, like I've aged. Like there's nothing more in life for me, that's how I feel. There's nothing for me to aspire for anymore. I'm just a means to an end. I'm just here to pop up babies and nurture them to grow up and stuff like that. But there's more to life. I mean, for me at least, I want to grow to my fullest potential. There are things I want to learn, hobbies I want to hone, skills I like to pick up, stretch myself to the fullest potential. That is, like learn things, get more certs, make more money, spend more, live life to the fullest. I want to take care of my parents in the best way that I am able to, and I want to live in a bigger house. These are things that I may have to sacrifice if I had a child. And besides, I don't, it's just not worth it to me at the end of the day. What are they going to do? Are they going to crown you, your children, and say, wow, I've got the best daddy and mommy in the world? Well, yeah, maybe for Mother's Day and Father's Day, they might do that. But ultimately, what is it that you're doing that other parents are not? I mean, this is just so much. It's just become mothering and fathering. Parenting has become such an art, isn't it? So expensive. It's a bottomless pit. No matter how much you do, no matter whatever you earn and whatever you shower them with, it's just not enough. Nobody can do a perfect job there in that department, and still some turn out really badly with issues. Yeah. So anyway, that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is, for me at least, I'm really happy, and I never crave for, to be in that kind of position where when I see a mother, even a couple for that matter, strolling in the park with their prams, with the toddlers, the infants in that. I mean, I'm just glad, to be honest with you guys. I'm glad I'm not in that position, because I know it takes a lot of sleepless nights. It takes a lot of hard work and labor and toil to get that. A lot of sacrifice, isn't it? First of all, sometimes, the mom or maybe even the father, they have to take care. It's just unpaid reproductive labor. The hours are not, you're not being paid for them. I would rather sit and earn some money at work. It's an opportunity cost, isn't it, guys? So, I mean, the way I see it, I like to think logically and, a bit like sane. Yeah? I am not that emotional in that sense. Yeah. I don't like to take life decisions based on emotions, or biological impulses or hormones. I don't let them dictate my life choices. I want to do a cost benefit analysis and then make my choices. Yeah, and some people may ask me, they have asked me, in fact, what about when you're old? Don't you want someone to take care of you when you're old? Excuse me? Do you really think that you are having a child to look after you when you're old? Is it going to happen? What guarantee is that it's going to happen? Can you get a promise? Can you get a written contract that your children are going to look for you when you're old? And even if they are going to, right? Even if they are going to, is that what you really want? Because all your life you have sacrificed for them, and here you are in your old age, you're being taken care of. I don't want that. I would rather spend my entire life living happily, not sacrificing for anybody, and then dying alone. So it's a trade-off, isn't it? I mean, there's no better way. Both are equal. So don't gloat over the fact that you have a family, or you have children, and these kinds of things. I mean, the way I see it, you're not any better than I am. And another thing that people often ask me is, why are you in teaching if you don't want kids? I'm like, do you have to have a pet, an animal as a pet, if you work in animal care, as a veterinarian or as as a animal shelter volunteer? Do you have to? Why don't you apply the same reasoning? It just doesn't make sense, guys. Just because it's the norm, it doesn't mean everybody needs to follow it. You get what I mean? People can think for themselves. People can be logical and rational for a change. Why don't you try applying some common sense to your own life choices? Anyway, yeah, so this is just me and my life choice. I'm really happy and in a very safe place, and I'm really glad I let that toxic relationship go, because I'm not mentioning any names, but because seriously, I never wanted a child. You can say what you want. You can say that makes me less of a lady, less feminine, less of a nice person. You can say what you want. But you know what? I know if I had a child to, make to shut people's mouths and to make people contented with who I am, it is going to be a downward spiral from there onwards. It's an irreversible process. I will end up shutting everybody's mouth, but will I be happy? Because I never wanted to be a mother. Some people don't have that instinct. Yeah, well, there are people out there who want to genuinely become a mother or become a father. Through them, that is their lives' utmost ambition, accomplishment. But you gotta ask yourself. I mean, that's okay. That's okay. I'm not faulting that. You gotta ask yourself why. Do you really see yourself as a means to an end? Are you just on this earth to bring forward another life? What about adding value to your existing life? Have you done that fully? Have you lived to your fullest? If you haven't, if you have unachieved ambitions, why don't you work on those? I mean, frankly speaking, I'm asking you, honestly, it has been weighing on my mind. Why don't you work on yourself? Make more money, pick up more skills, or just spend time with what you like doing, your hobbies, pursuing your hobbies. It's life is not about creating more life. Anybody, even animals can do that, but you are beyond that. You're a human being. Why don't you apply yourself and prove to the world that there are things beyond just reproduction and procreation that you are meant for? Things that require the intellect, things that are beyond just your raging hormones. And yeah, so that's the way I see it. I may be wrong to some of you, according to some of you, but ultimately this gives me, living for myself gives me a lot of purpose, meaning, and something to aspire for on a day-to-day basis, because I'm living life on my own terms and conditions. I'm not being dictated by another person's wishes or desires. Yes, it might be a nice feeling to have someone beside you, but to have that someone beside you, I tell you, it's a lot of hard work. Is it not? I have to give before I can take. I have to give 90% before I can take 10%. I'm not ready to give 90%, guys. I'm not even ready to give 10%. And why is that an issue to you? Because I stick out like a sore thumb, then the problem lies with you, sorry, and not me. You have a problem with your mindset, your outlook, your viewpoint, your vantage point is the one that needs to be faulted. And I tell you, more and more people may be choosing my lifestyle soon. So there's really a need to adjust your lens to accommodate such lifestyles, alternative lifestyles. And I would also like to say that sometimes people even ask me, oh, what's the point? Life is not all about money. They say, oh, you're calculating everything in money terms, monetary terms, and that's not the way to be. Okay, let me ask you. Okay, you yourself, you are a parent, and you have two friends. Okay, two people that you know, and one of them is really making a lot of money, very accomplished, and the other one is a mother of or a father of 5 children. Right, and both come to your party. Who do you give the front seat to? Would you give it to the person who has more children but really is just a commoner, or would you give it to the person who has more riches and more fame? Who do you give it to? The front seat. You know the answer, guys. Don't lie to me. Don't bluff me. Don't bluff yourself. You know the answer. All right. So other things being constant, which is more important, don't you? And I tell you, things are not going to change. We live in a money dominated world. You like it or not, whether you want to listen to this or not, this is the truth. All right. So, I mean, age old, centuries ago, we might have been told, oh, when a disaster hits, you'll have nothing for you left for you except your family members. That's true. That's true. I agree with you. But what are the probability of such a disaster occurring? Not in my lifetime, not in the place I live at. Yeah? So, I mean, when let's say there is a tornado or there's a volcanic eruption, like let's say there's an earthquake, only your family members will come to you, money won't come to you. Yes, I agree. But what is the probability that this is going to occur? And for that, 0.0001 percent probability, I have to lead the rest of my entire life preparing for that one fine day. Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, it's just fallacious logic, guys. Why don't you lead your life the way you want to? The way I see it, I dare to be different. I dare to go against the social norm. And you know what? I need to be celebrated and congratulated for that, and not, be criticized or judged negatively for that. All right. So don't be immediate to judge people's life choices, lifestyle choices. You never know what it is like to be in another person's shoes unless you have been in their shoes before. All right. So it's not that I'm childless. Childless implies that we are missing out on something. I want to be child free. I choose this, guys. I choose this. Do you get it? When I see a mom with a child, I don't crave for that. I don't want that. In fact, I made a conscious and well-informed decision not to become like them. You got it? Yeah. So please do not pity me. Please do not look at me with sympathy. All I ask for is that if you think you're doing the right thing, kudos to you. Good for you. But don't expect everybody to follow you like a herd mentality. Because people can think for themselves, guys. We have gone through college. We hold an intellectual career. We are not that stupid and dumb. You get what I mean? Yeah. So don't expect everybody is the same, like carbon copy or model answer of each other. People want different things in life, and I'm okay if kids is what you want, but that's not what I want. I never wanted them, and I'll never regret them. Some of you may think, oh, you're still young, you're talking like this. I'm not. I'm 36 this year, and this is how I will continue to feel. I never felt the need for children, and I never had a desire for them. And I tell you, there are many, many, many women out there very afraid to speak out for fear of social censure. All right. But you know what? If we don't shake things up, then nobody will, and things will remain status quo. So I want more of you girls, more of you women out there to speak out, If you don't like the place you're in, you can change it. And the key to all that is becoming financially independent. And that brings us once again to my original idea, which is to do well in school, get a high paying job, get a good career, establish yourself, and you can do what you want without fearing other people's opinions. So the key to all this boils down to education, doesn't it? It does. Your grades do matter. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All right? Your grades really do matter. Unless, of course, you're born into, old money and all that. Born into riches. So to cut the long story short, I'll be ending soon. I'm really happy in the position and the place that I am at. And I really think you guys ought to know this. You guys ought to know that I'm very happy with my lifestyle. All right, as you can see, I'm taking wonderful vacations, staycations. I'm spending money without looking at the price tag. I'm ordering food every day. I don't need to cook and clean up the mess. I don't need to, pacify, teach a discipline brat, a spoiled brat or tantrum throwing infant or toddler. I mean, if you are given a choice, would you rather stay at home and look after children or go out and pursue your hobbies? Think about it, guys. You got to start applying logic to your life. If you are really given a choice, which one would you choose? You get what I mean? If you are given a true 50% choice and chance, a chance to choose, a chance to make a choice, which one would you pick? I'm sure the answer is quite clear. It's because you assume that you have no chance to make a choice. You have it in you, unless you're dependent on others for finances and emotions and all that. Yeah? I'm not. I'm completely 100% independent, and I love my independence. And thanks to my parents for telling me, for teaching me from a very young age that there is not a thought that I cannot think of. I'm really grateful to them for being that progressive, that forward looking, and that modernized, despite, coming from a developing country in India. Yeah, they've taught in me the right things. They've taught me the right values, the right mindset, that as far as I don't harm anyone, I can free to choose and, like mold my life the way I want it to be. And that sense of agency, that sense of willpower is something really commendable, is it not? I'm not, boasting, I'm not self-boasting, but you guys, I just want to share this thought. Not everybody is miserable without kids. Not everybody is miserable without, a family, starting a family. I'm completely happy and contented where I am. If at all, yes, it would be nice to be in a relationship. That's as far as it goes. We don't want to buy a house. We don't want to BTO. We don't want to, apply for a flat in today's world. Yeah, in today's world where everything is different, things are no longer as natural or as organic as they used to be centuries ago. Why do you want to follow this age-old, outdated concept and institution? You get what I mean? Yeah, I'm not trying to convert anybody, but if you feel like it, you go ahead. Just don't expect me to conform to your expectations, okay? Because I'm not going to do that. I'm in a very safe and secure and self-satisfied place as I am. And I'm not going to leave it because you think otherwise. All right, that brings us to the end of this rant. Okay, I'm child-free by choice, and I'm glad that I chose to be like this, because I couldn't be leading a better life. Right now, I'm leading my dream life. All right, I'm leading my dream life. Okay, and yeah, I just hope that this would have been a game changer and eye-opener for many of you. For those of you who feel likewise or who don't feel likewise, just be accepting of alternative lifestyles, or at least entertain that possibility of becoming more open-minded, guys. And yeah, so that brings us to the end of my rant, my child-free rant, you can call it. So thank you so much, guys, for listening till the end, and I wish you all the best, and stay happy and blissful, whatever you're doing. If it makes you happy and if it doesn't harm anyone, then you're on the right track. Okay, so stay happy, stay blessed till my next video. Bye bye.